Chofetz Chaim in our Parsha addresses a critical question that I'm sure we have all thought about in the past. And that is, we spend our time, hopefully, yearning for Moshiach and wondering when is it that Moshiach is going to come. But it could be that it bothers us at times. How can we expect that we are going to be able to bring Moshiach? There have been generations of Gedolim, of tremendous, tremendous people who have gone through so much and yet did not succeed in bringing the Geula. And we understand that there's Yeridas Hadoros, the generations, as they get further and further from Har Sinai and they continue to move down, do not increase in terms of their spiritual levels. So how can it be that we are sitting and we are expecting that the Geula is going to come and we are going to be able to accomplish something that the previous generations were not able to accomplish? And the Chofetz Chaim explains that the answer can be found in this week's Parsha. See, the Torah tells us that if a person is forced to sell a stei achuzah, his ancestral lot, so the person sells it, the Torah says that a person can redeem the field. How is it determined how much the person needs to pay in order to redeem it? So we calculate out how much the person paid for all of the years that it's going to be able to produce until the Yovel year. And then each year has a certain value. And then you deduct all of the years that the person has already held on to the field. So if there were 10 years left until Yovel and the field was sold for $100,000, so each year is worth $10,000. So if he wants to redeem it after 3 years, he's going to pay $7,000. But if he wants to redeem it when there's only 1 year remaining until Yovel, then he's only going to need to pay $10,000 for that field. Says the Chofetz Chaim that the same thing is true when it comes to Geula. How so? He says, why is it that we went into Golos? We were sent into Golos because of the sins that we did. We are pushed, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends us into exile. And at that point, as a punishment, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has decided how long that exile was going to be, how long we are going to be in Golos. It has been predetermined how long it needs to be in order to accomplish whatever it is that God knows we need to accomplish. And therefore, he says the following calculation exists. If we want to be able to bring Moshiach, what is it that we need to do? Is that we need to redeem ourselves. We need to show HaKadosh Baruch Hu that even though that time has not come to a conclusion yet, we have improved ourselves enough that we can pay back and as such be able to merit the redemption. And he says if that's true, then you have to think about the mashal of our parsha. When it comes to that stei achuzah, if you want to redeem it at the beginning, it's going to cost you so much more because so much is owed at that point. Because the same thing is true. The earlier generations, in order to be able to reach the Geula, they were going to be required to pay so much more, to accomplish so much more, to grow so much more, to show HaKadosh Baruch Hu that in order to undo the damage and to pay for those sins, it's going to be a tremendous, tremendous debt that is going to have to be done. But as the generations go on, and we have already paid up so much of it through the difficulties of Galus, through all that we have been through, then not as much remains for us. And it's in that our hope for the future remains. Is that we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to give us that opportunity for redemption. And in every generation we have it. And we can believe that it's going to come true because we have the ability to give whatever it is that is necessary. And even though other generations have not succeeded, we are building upon what they have done. They have already paid part of that debt. And now HaKadosh Baruch Hu says it's in our hands to do tshuva, to do whatever it is that needs to bring us closer together. That in these days of Sfiras HaOmer, as we count towards Matan Torah, we look to improve ourselves, we look to grow. We look to figure out what is it that we can do to transform us from a people that needs to owe HaKadosh Baruch Hu and to make atonement for the sins of the past to a point where we have paid that all up and we can thereby merit the coming of Moshiach Tzidkenu B'mhira V'yameinu. Amen.